What's up, guys and girls? Ful-O Gold here, Caleb, bringing you this episode. I've got this request from a fellow subscriber called Flippa. Um, he asked if I can do some research from the Maldon Castlemaine area, even Muckleford. Um, so we're going to go with Muckleford, Flippa. So thanks for your call out there. I've got my mocha, large mocha from Macca's. If you're not from Australia, that's McDonald's, uh, that I've been blissfully blessed with by my lovely wife. So thank you for that. All right, so we'll have a bit of a look at this history here. Before that, I'm trying the microphone built into these MindLab headphones. These come with the MindLab Equinox 800. It's got a mic built in there if you didn't know. I didn't know until I was using them and my phone rang. Funny enough. So I'm gonna try that. Hopefully the audio is better than the standard iPhone headphones. So let's have a look. We've got Muckleford here. Uh, Alternative names, Wattle Flat. So if you're trying to research Muckleford and can't find it, try Wattle Flat. This gold field, in an area also referred to as Wattle Flat, was opened up in November 1852, following a series of big alluvial rushes. Muckleford Township was built along where the now Castlemaine Maldon Road crosses Muckleford Creek. In 1855, there were some 4,000 rather, diggers at work, but by the mid 1858, alluvial mining was on the wane. Large numbers of Chinese diggers continued to work small pockets of ground using horse puddling appliances. Muckleford's decline is typical of the kind of contraction that occurred after many rushes. What it means by that is there'll be the initial rush, and a few years later, the easy gold was likely picked out, and those diggers who just want to make a quick buck, they would hear of the new rush and shoot away to the next gold rush. Whereas we've got a few diggers who stay on the scene and continue cleaning up the remaining areas to mine, and often those guys made a fair bit of dough. So if you're wondering where Muckleford is, let's bring up my trusty Google Maps. So here's Muckleford. Over here is Castlemaine. This red outline, yeah, obviously is the area called Muckleford. The big mines here on the foot of the hills, or a little bit further up. Over here, there's Maldon, further up to the top left. So we're going to be looking today at the red, white, and blue reef, who have got. Let's see what their earnings are. So just shy of 4,000 ounces according to this. So let's have a look. I just read you that one there. A lot of Chinese were on the scene. So I found this little write-up with a bit of history as well. So this is a red, white, and blue site. It's located in the Muckleford State Forest at the site of the historic red, white, and blue mine, also known as the Golden Age Mine or Maloney's Reef. Now, I actually didn't know that. Well, Golden Age Mine is next to it, so makes sense. The remnants of the mining days at the picnic area, as well as throughout the surrounding forest. Go exploring the forest and find evidence of these uses and discover the rich diversity of plants and animals found here. It looks like they got a lot of ironbox forests, trees, which is that sort of area for those trees. Um, Now, what we're interested in more is the history. Okay, here we go. Surveyor General Major Mitchell passed through this area on his third expedition in 1836. Pastoralists followed soon after to squat and establish sheep runs on the grasslands. That was typical of a lot of the gold, uh, a lot of the areas before the gold rush. They used to be just sheep runs, cattle runs, massive, massive areas. Um, they often only had, say, a really big old burnout tree as a landmark to say that's where the border is of your sheep run. So no real fences back then. Tarrangower in December. Okay, so gold was found at the foot of Mount Tarrangower. For those that is, Mount Tarrangower is, see where it says Mount Tarrangower Lookout, just the other side of Maldon. So that's where gold was first discovered in the area. Following this, miners spread out through the forest to pursue gold, and the town of Maldon quickly grew. The scars of early mining can still be seen throughout the forest. Sources of gold included sandstone outcrops, quartz reefs, and shallow alluvial stream deposits. And thanks for that coming up right there. Okay, so that's a bit of a brief history, I think. Oh, no, we got more here, apparently. Uh, so the early miners initially carried out shallow digging for alluvial gold deposits. As gold became harder to find, miners used other methods such as sluicing stream diversions, and puddling machines to separate the gold. Later methods include quartz reef mining, an open cut, and shafts. Mining for gold below the groundwater table required the use of machinery such as steam-powered pumping and winding machinery, as at red, white, and blue. And we can see that in the picture here. Look at that massive, no, not that one. Look at that massive infrastructure there, just that poppet head. Um, you can imagine the amount of work it would take just to set up such a big plant. From Maldon, quartz mining extended south along Sandy Creek, eastward, and even to the top of Mount Tarrangower. Shallow alluvial mining was also carried out extensively along Back Creek. Gold was found at Dunn's Reef to the south during the late 1850s. The remains of timber loading ramp can still be seen today. I wouldn't mind going and have a look at that, to be honest. So the first shaft was sunk here into the red, white, and blue quartz reef in 1871. A number of shafts were sunk in the area along the reef, and mining continued on and off for many years. Between 1909 and 1915, a total of nearly 2,400 ounces of gold was mined from here. Red, white, and blue was last mined in 1960 to a depth of 52 metres. At the time, the site consisted of a poppet head and shaft, a steam boiler, winding engine and battery, change rooms, an office and storage rooms. The poppet head was originally from the Bendigo Deborah mine. Okay, so there's an old photo here, 1959. So that's been around for fairly recently. 1960 it was a while ago, but it wasn't as early as a lot of old mines. Perhaps if there's any viewers here who have maybe their grandparents or grandfather or they themselves who are retired now, who have any stories or can relate to this project, let us know in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Yeah. So it's all interesting stuff. Um, I did find somewhere, however, I can't find it anymore. Um, okay, so I just found this little article here from 1932. Gold at Muckleford, 50 miners' rights issued. Castlemaine, Monday. The area of auriferous land near Muckleford, where Thompson brothers obtained the 21-ounce nugget on Saturday, was a scene of activity today, when scores of prospectors and others assembled. Numerous parties commenced work today following the receipt of advice from the mines department that the ground was subject to mining conditions and could be worked without payment of compensation. During the last few days, 50 miners' rights have been issued in Castlemaine, while today a number of claims were pegged out from the Maldon end. So I'm assuming that would be. Ooh, we're down here, aren't we? So I'm assuming that would be over here when it says the Maldon end, possibly. That's interesting. Let's see if I can find any other articles on this before I wrap this up. The alleged murder at Muckleford. Well, that's not good. Let's have a look. A great deal of excitement was created in Castlemaine on Wednesday last by a report that some men had been murdered. Some man had been murdered at Muckleford in a most barbarous manner. I don't know how that could create excitement, but anyway, let's read on. Rumour on this, as on other occasions, lent her aid to magnify the circumstances attendant on it. But it appears that a man had actually died under, at the least, very suspicious circumstances, and a Mr. B. Spears resident at Muckleford was charged with causing his death on the first race day. Both appeared to have been thoroughly drunk, and as the wife said, at 8 o'clock, but as other witnesses proved, at midnight, the prisoner came to her tent, and after uh, whatever that word is, and some cause or other, brutally ill-treated the deceased man, who was the least capable of taking care of himself. Prisoner, she swore, knocked him down, and then, catching hold of a table to steady himself, deliberately jumped on him, his whole weight. Spears, as a heavy man, and if this be true, is a certain that it must seriously have injured the deceased. Okay, so it looks like he was drunk, he passed out, and someone tripped and made it look like he deliberately jumped on top of him with his whole weight. Not a not a good thing, not a good situation. He saw that the woman was drunk, as in fact it seemed everyone near the place was. Well, back then that was pretty common. The story was corroborated by a witness, James Ryland, who said that the wife of the deceased was in the habit of getting drunk, and on the night in question, when she swore that this occurrence took place, she could not have been present at 8 o'clock. For at 10 o'clock, she actually took his horse from one of the race booths and was about to ride it across the creek when she was drunk. Have things changed? Things haven't changed, have they? No, not at all. Only they've changed from horses to cars. In fact, land, in fact, had actually started when he followed and took away. Well, there we have it. bit of history, a bit of trouble going on at Muckleford. I'll leave it there because we're almost hitting the 20-minute mark. I gotta edit this down for you guys. If you like this video, guys, please comment, like it, subscribe if you haven't already. I'm working on getting better equipment, microphone, etc. But it's a work in progress. If you want to help the channel grow, like I said, like and comment, subscribe, share it with your friends too. This is Ful-O Gold. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Take care.
When first I left old England shore, such yarns as we were told, as how folks in Australia could pick up lumps of gold. So when we got to Melbourne town, we were ready soon to slip and get even with the captain and scuttle from the ship. With his swag upon me shoulder, Black Billy in me hand, I travelled the bush of Australia like a true born native man.